Welcome to today's podcast. We have a special guest today. He hasn't been here in a while. Let's all give a round of applause for Casper, the
Oh,
friendly ghost.
oh,
Woo!
I didn't realize Casper was here. I was looking around. I was like, whoa, what are you talking about? We have a special guest. Is news
Yeah.
to me.
And then we have the main crew today. We got Jim, Dean, Paul, and the side guest, Kenny. Hello, Kenny.
Side
Okay, don't
guest. I
don't
don't know
downgrade
about that.
yourself like that, okay?
Don't do that, man. You're much more than that. You're important. You're special to us. You're special to our viewers too.
And
Yeah.
today we're doing a Q&A with
What?
our viewers.
What?
So all our viewers feel free to ask whatever you want to know about us.
No. Oh
Go ahead.
no. Oh no.
Anytime.
No, it sounds like a terrible idea.
All right, no questions. All right, thank
we
you
got
for
one.
tuning in for tonight's stream, guys. See you next week.
We got
Kidding.
one. The underscore Nincompoops says, Jim, why are you so handsome? You know, it's just I just got it, bro. All right.
What's happening? What happened? What's happening? I don't understand.
What do you mean what's
going
happening?
on?
We're in the middle of a podcast, Paul. What do you mean what's happening?
We rehearsed this last night. Keep up with the script, all right?
I don't understand. This is. I just don't know.
But
So-
yeah, episode 39, and we're back to 4 people. Hey, if you guys want to see our special guest Jeffrey, just let us know. We'll try to ask him to come back on the show.
We've
Yeah.
been asking that. I don't think it's happening, friends. We've been asking him to join us in Valorant too. There's probably like a higher chance of that happening than podcast.
You know what? The next time he asks for help on his essay, we ask him to come back on. All right? There has to be some exchange. That's how we do business in this.
Give and take, bring him
that's
back
how we
to
do
the
business in
podcast.
this hellscape, in the podcast hellscape. Okay.
Either do Valorant or podcast. Take your pick.
Why don't we do both? We just stream
Both?
the game.
I don't think anybody's computer or internet is good enough for both of those things, though.
Oh, okay.
Maybe it's just me. Yeah.
Yeah, for some
Speaking
reason,
of
whenever I
Valorant-
tried to stream the game, for some reason my game just open up. It just
Even-
freezes.
Even when I stream on Discord, when I was showing Lil Ron a few days ago, it was already like I felt the frame drops a little bit, and
Oh,
and
okay.
yeah. So I think doing it on the internet, would on Twitch would be even worse than that.
I see. Well, my Valorant's almost finished downloading. So
Wait,
yeah.
what?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was downloading Valorant as we were waiting.
Nani?
Yeah,
Really?
He's gonna be our carry.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
30
sweet no
seconds
carry,
left.
baby.
No, I'm the death fodder. I'm the one who distracts them, and then when they shooting me, you guys shoot them.
Yeah, I'm a bullet shield too. It's okay.
Mm-hmm. That's my best role.
It depends on the day of the week for me, or what day it is.
It's not the Valorant is the same as PUBG, where I could just crouch and crawl around.
No,
prone,
there's
so I
definitely
can
no
hide.
definitely no
I'm
prone.
more of a fan of Valorant compared to PUBG because PUBG is just us like. I mean, in the few times I did play it, it was just walking around, picking
Yeah,
up guns, and then if you get shot at first, you're probably dead.
yeah.
That's why you gotta
pretty much.
play the divide and conquer. You just run off and hide until you're one of the last few people, and then you hope to win.
It's a lot more. That strat is a lot more viable in Valorant, just for the simple fact it's a smaller map and there's a lot less people.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Compared to PUBG,
Okay.
I mean, 5 enemy players compared to 100 or 99.
Like, from what I gather from the battle royale genre in general, because I tried playing Fortnite too, and then we also tried playing Realm Royale whenever.
Yeah.
It was
same,
like
art
hot.
style.
Yeah. The thing I just gathered was like if you go in a place where there's a lot of action, there's like a very high chance that you're gonna die, and then it's like it for you. You have to start up a new game, and if you go to an area that's not very populated, all you do is just walk around, gathering stuff, so that whenever you do get in a fight, you fight them. But then that's just really boring to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm admittedly not gonna lie. It is kind of like that.
Realm Royale was probably the more fun of the three, in my opinion. But that's just because I am. Fortnite I kind of liked, but the building part was just seemed pretty lame to me. You know.
Yeah, agreed. Agreed. I did not like the building. I did like Realm Royale for simple for the art style, to be honest. Like the cartoony stuff. So you could build like power arm. So it had a crafting system. Was what made it unique compared to other battle royales. Was that you could build power armor, you could build power weapons, or like gold level weapons and armor.
Yeah,
And I
you
think
have
that
like
was it.
some special abilities, like unique to your class too. And I
Yeah,
thought that
spirit
aspect was
classes.
really
Yeah,
cool. Yeah.
yeah. There was like the assassin. There were like mages. There was engineers, what have you. So that
Uh,
was like pretty neat.
After we stopped playing, though, apparently they took all that out, and then Ron kept playing it.
Really?
Yeah. So Ron kept playing after we all stopped playing, and then he said that they took out all the special abilities and everything, so that everyone was basically like you could pick like the character that represented the class, but then the class there was no more like, a class system, so you're just choosing like which character model you like the best.
Oh, it wasn't unique.
Yeah, it lost all the it just became another battle royale, but this time you pick characters that resemble RPG elements, but you don't actually
Mm,
have that anymore.
that's unfortunate. That was kind of lame.
Yeah, I don't know if that game still exists or if people are still playing it or if it's shut down or whatever, but no one's
I reckon it's probably dead. I haven't heard of it. I mean, I could probably just check.
yeah.
Rel, well, it's still a thing.
Oh, okay. I guess. But
What's the most?
in general, I think the battle royale genre died. Like you don't see Fortnite topping the charts anymore and all the
Yeah,
yeah.
the only one you hear about usually would just be like COD, Warzone. That's it. That's the only one I hear about. And even then, it's just like I hear that one's dying too.
Or Apex, I think it's still doing
Yeah, yeah.
okay.
Oh, there we go. Apex. I think that's the biggest one right now.
Yeah.
I hear COD's dying, to be honest, or just because or bad patches. I don't know, but it's not what it used to be. I think
Yeah.
Apex is probably overtaken at this point.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be surprised if Fortnite's still on top just because it's Fortnite, but I could see Apex possibly being over that, but I don't know. I have nothing to base that off of.
Is Fortnite still a thing?
Fortnite
People
is still.
people still play Fortnite,
Yeah.
just not as much as they used
It's
to,
just
obviously.
dying down. There's
Because
Yeah.
I could have sworn some time back it got removed or something or taken out or just the developer we're just going to take this away, or was that just I guess it was a temporary thing if I heard correctly.
Probably.
Yeah. I heard some people were complaining about it, or kids were like, "No, Fortnite's gone. I can't play it no more. There's no point in living." Something along those lines.
Who knows?
No, I think they're kids. Like kids usually, like I think what happened with the kids. Not that I know what they think nowadays, because
Yeah.
I don't know people that young anymore. My brother, who was a kid, but now he's getting older and older, man.
Me
But
too. I also was a kid once.
but with I think kids usually when they get into a game, they just look for whoever's like the best player, like Ninja for Fortnite, and then they just kind of play whatever Ninja plays now, which I'm assuming is no longer Fortnite.
No,
So
I
so
think
so
he's
if they see
doing
their
a lot
favorite
of things.
streamers like move on to a different game, they will
Mm,
go to as well, as long as it's free, of course.
Yeah.
gotcha. Yeah, I think that's probably why Valorant's working for us, just because it's for free, and I did enjoy playing Counter Strike when I was younger. I think that was one of my first FPSs I was ever introduced to when I first started playing on the PC was Counter Strike Source.
Yeah, that was my first multiplayer first-person shooter.
Mm-hmm. I played a lot of gun game. I remember just because I could respawn. I did not understand the gun mechanics when I was that young. I was just running and gunning. I was like,
Yeah,
wow,
same here.
some people are just good. I don't understand how this works, but it's fun to play. And if you leveled up your guns, you heard like the Mario power up sound when you get a mushroom. So
That's probably like a server thing.
it's definitely a server thing, but
'Cause
I
mine
enjoyed the
is
hell
too.
out of it. I played that for hours,
We played
and I loved it.
we played the zombies one a lot.
I Zombies was all right. It got kind of boring for me though, especially if the zombies when the zombies had a lot of health. It's just pretty much all right. We're gonna just manipulate the map a little bit and just like block doors with like tables and vending machines. Just like, or we're just gonna spray into this doorway for like 10 minutes, and then
Yeah,
eventually you're gonna break through.
our thing didn't have those. I think we just you. It's pretty much like a hide and seek, but they know where you're at,
Mm.
and then you just one. They're kind of just chasing you. It
Oh,
was fun.
got you. I just remember just being like, sit in corner and just shoot for like forever. You just get SMGs and just saw and all that.
Yeah.
Yep. So Jim, I've been meaning to ask this for a while now, especially ever since we started playing Valorant. Like, you said yourself, you're not really much of an FPS sort of person, right?
No, not really.
Yeah, it makes me curious though. Why is like Valorant a little bit uh more to your liking? Because normally when it comes to like FPSs, we're like, hey Jim, join us. But then now it's like nowadays like, oh Paul, jump on, we're playing Valorant. I was like, oh no.
I I play it more as a game that we can play together. Honestly,
Mm.
like compared to the other shooting games, I get more enjoyment out of this one because I guess it's faster paced in a way, even though like the games are rather long because of how you have to get the 13 rounds before the other team does, and each
Yep.
round takes like a couple minutes. So
Yep.
it is a time commitment, but it does feel faster paced than other games. So that's why I don't mind it as much as PUBG. Because with PUBG, when I ever played with you guys, it was just like you spend most of it doing nothing, and then or the games where you do something, you just die really quick, and
Mm-hmm.
then what I do enjoy, even though it doesn't happen as much in Valorant because I'm not very good at it, is that with battle royales, you don't expect to win, and I think that's a really shitty um like game design for long term playing. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's like something I think battle royale is designed for short bursts where you play for a few weeks or a few days or whatever, and then you don't play it for a while.
Yeah.
But if you're playing it like over like a month or two, I think it sucks because you don't win. Like what I really like from games like this is to have that feeling of like, hey, I did good and so we won. But PUBG didn't give that, and it was something like I mean, I don't know what other FPSs I've played with you guys, but uh, I imagine if we were to play like Halo, I guess difference might be just that maybe it's just the gameplay, but I don't know too much
Mm.
about other games. Yeah.
Got you. Yeah, I think it's more traditional in the sense of just like one team versus the other team, so it's more streamlined.
Yeah, if we were playing Overwatch, I probably would feel the same way about Valorant. Because Overwatch, I think I enjoy Overwatch a little bit more because it's also really fast paced
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
easier to not be useless in that game as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, but you guys don't want to play Overwatch, so that's kind of why.
They're just toxic over there.
I think for me, like, I just like had flashbacks when I used to play competitive Overwatch, and it just felt like a
Ranked.
job. Ranked, yeah, it just
Yeah.
felt like a job because I was like diamond ranked,
Oh,
and
I didn't even get that far.
I almost I was like halfway to like masters, I think, but then I never got there for the simple fact like Blizzard made it like, okay, you need to play a certain number of games, or else your rank is going to like drop if you don't play. It didn't affect our lower ranks, so like you could just not touch the game or ranked for the entire duration of the season, and you'd still be the same rank when you come back. But for like diamond and up, it's like, all right, if you don't touch it in a couple days, you're gonna start at like lowest rank of diamonds, and it's just like I don't have this time commitment. I have school. I can't play this all that often,
Oh
and
yeah, it's
sometimes I just
commitment. Yeah.
yeah, I'm like, and sometimes I don't want to play ranked. Sometimes I just want to play casual. So that's part of the reason why, and also for now some new heroes, and it just seems like I like to play Pharah, and it's just like a lot of splash damage. It's a lot of damage in general, but it just feels like a lot of characters in Overwatch have shields. So just it's not so much like, oh, you're taking out individual people, you're not killing people really fast. Just like it's such a slow grind. Like, all right, I'm just gonna shoot at the enemy shields. The three characters that have shields on the enemy team for like, we'll do this for like 5 minutes, and then the big fight happens, and then we're back to this again. So it just to me it's just not fun.
There are downsides to both between Valorant and Overwatch. I think the biggest upside that Overwatch has that Valorant does not is that Overwatch, when you die, you can respawn, so you don't just sit there waiting for the next round. Like with Valorant, once you're dead, you just like you have nothing else to live for the next like few minutes.
They really,
You know.
they really implement the team deathmatch thing.
Yeah, that so like once you die, that's it. That's the shitty part of Valorant I don't like. And then with Overwatch, you die, doesn't matter. You just come back in, maybe you change heroes. You're not locked into anything. I guess you're locked into your role, but like in terms of like
Now
you
you
know
are.
what
Yeah,
you can
yeah.
do.
Back
You can
then
do
it was
you can do
like,
whatever.
all right, press H. All right, I'm done playing attacker. I'll play a tank. All right, I'm
Yeah.
done playing tank. I'll play healer.
Yeah, but the downside of Overwatch that Valorant does not have is that with Overwatch, there's two big ones that come to mind right away. One of them is how tanks work in Overwatch, where they just have giant walls of shields, so you have to shoot through. It feels really it feels really repetitive. It's like hitting a target dummy for like a big portion of the match, and then once you break it, then maybe some stuff happens. But
Yep.
it does feel repetitive doing the same thing over and over every game after a while.
Yeah.
That's why I play like once a year. But the other big downside of Overwatch that Valorant does not have is that with Valorant, like it doesn't matter what characters they play and which ones you play, the gameplay is relatively the same. Like even though you might not know what Reyna does, or you don't know what Sky does, or what Breach does,
Yeah.
like
It's-
there's no difference in like how the gun works or how you shoot or whatever, or what
Yeah.
what the objective is. With Overwatch, you try to get into it, and there's like I don't know how many heroes are there now, like 40.
I don't.
There's
I
a
don't know,
lot.
20 million. I don't know, a bunch.
Yeah.
You go in, and then you have to try to memorize what every single one does, and it's such a big
what everyone
learning curve.
does, and then counter them.
Yeah, that's why I don't fault people for like trying out League, but then they suck ass at it because there's just so much you have to learn, and
That's
then
me.
like there's so many characters you have to learn that if you're not already at the level where you're already good enough at the game to understand what they do, like it's really hard to get into it. And it's the same thing with Overwatch, where like I can learn what my character does. Like when I picked up when I pick up Lucio, I pick up Lucio because his kit is really simple. You just walk around, everyone heals. You don't have to like aim
Yep.
or anything. You don't have to like, worry about
Best healer in any game, Lucio.
Healing, speed boost. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about as much about what other characters do because you just have to worry about yourself. But then when you play something like Anna, where you have to be a little bit more, it takes quite a bit more skill. You have to be worried about like, okay, I need to be able to do this.
Yeah. You need
If they're
aim.
like not paying attention to me and all that stuff.
I think,
there's just so much going on. It's hard for you to know what's going to happen, even though they're playing certain characters.
I think that's what made Overwatch so appealing at the beginning, was that there was like a lot of characters, but there wasn't too many characters. But as time moved on, Blizzard wanted to implement more and more characters, and there's like once every couple months, once a month. I don't remember, but it's like a huge amount. And so now at this point, you look at the entire roster, like this is way too many heroes. I'm not unless you're like playing it like consistently on a regular basis, you're not going to be looking at characters like, who is this? I like what did I do? How do you counter this? And I think that's more on the player, but I think it's also like a problem. It's like there is too many characters, and there's a problem with that sometimes. Like,
Yeah,
I understand. I
it's
understand
up
the
to the
reasoning.
player. If the player refuses to learn what all the characters does and they keep playing it, that's on them. But it's like, it's not completely their fault. There's just so much stuff to learn that they have to like, they have to take it into account as they play. When they're trying to learn the game. Like when
Yeah.
when you're new, you don't know what the characters do. You're not gonna be thinking like, oh shit, what does Reaper ult do, or what does
Yeah,
Widowmaker
like
do?
Mhm.
You see it as it comes to you, and then you just get shit on, and that just makes you like either like
a liability.
Yeah.
makes you get flamed on because everyone's like, oh fuck this noob, doesn't know what he's doing,
That's
or
me.
or you're like,
That was us 2 weeks ago.
or you're like, fuck, there's too much. I'm out of here. Like I can just play fucking Call of Duty and just not worry about different abilities and all that shit.
Yeah. That was kind of me when we first started playing Valorant. Just because like I knew absolutely nothing about any of the characters except for like a handful. But over
didn't
time
know
I was
either.
able to like learn it relatively quickly just because it wasn't too dense of a roster. It wasn't too many people to learn about. I just had to like go into like the practice range for like maybe like an hour, half an hour to an hour, just like, all right, this is read the descriptions is what these characters do. So at some point it's like, all right, it's on to the player a little bit to learn about these characters. But what made I think Valorant right now at the moment more digestible for me is just that there's not too many characters. There's enough to make it interesting, but there's not too many. And I worry a little bit if Valorant would go down the same path as Overwatch with oversaturating the roster with too many characters, you know?
I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure it's gonna go down that way since
I think it's gonna go down there eventually.
yeah,
Like I don't know what pace they're gonna release characters at, but at a certain point, like with the latest character Astra, I've never seen her be played except for like maybe 2 times,
Yeah.
and I have no idea what she does, and it already feels like before her we already had enough characters, and then they just keep adding more, which they will. I don't know what pace they're going at. Then eventually it's gonna be too much for people to learn. And like just like Overwatch, like in League for example, when I started playing, there was like 100 characters, which is already I don't remember exactly, but around
That's
100.
insane.
That's already a lot. And then it took a lot for me to like know each one and what each character does. But now I think there's like 140, 130 or something.
Jesus.
So someone who's starting off is gonna have a harder time learning the game than what I went through, and I and it took a while for me to understand the game as it was back then. So it's just like, yeah, and then the fact that the developers, it's easy for people to be like, oh, nerf this characters because they're too OP. Like in Overwatch, people would always want to nerf like I don't know Mercy or something or Warthog. But then like at a certain point when there's just too many characters, it's really hard to balance everything because there's too much. When you nerf something, something else gets better because that character was maybe weak to that character or something, and so now they look a lot better in comparison. So they're actually good now. It's
Indirect buffs and indirect nerfs, yeah.
yeah, like it's just so much to take into account. It's really hard to balance a game with the more characters you add in. Like with Pokemon, the more Pokemon you add in the Pokemon game, the harder it is to tell which ones are good and which ones are bad because
There's also the issue with overlap as well, in that when you start off with a game and you start off with like everyone's like an original character, they all have like original abilities and all that. But then as time goes on, eventually you do have to recycle abilities from other characters to put into your new character, and then eventually it just becomes like either all right, dump this old character in favor of this new character, or oh, this new character is not as good as the old character because it's just like a discount such and such. So
yeah, this happens in League all the time. Like they released a character called Seraphine. So this is old character from original League called Sona, where her thing is just like, I'm gonna buff my allies, I'm gonna heal my allies, and my ult is like this big AOE stun. And then they released a character named Seraphine who also happens to sing and also happens to have music, and they also happen to heal and do damage, just like Sona did. But then like it's like way stronger because she does more damage, and then the heal's a lot better too. And then her ult is literally the same thing, except instead of just stunning them, it makes them walk towards you. And it's like double the range. So it's like, whoa, wait. You just copy pasted one character and just made it way better, and you're just forgetting about this other character you had before. And it happens all the time in League too. And then, like I said, League has like over 100 characters, so it's bound to happen. But like sometimes it's just so blatant that you're just like, what the fuck, like.
Did they still add new characters for League at this point, or?
Yeah, there's still new characters.
So what they do is that they still release new characters. It's not as frequent as they used to. I think before I started playing, they used to release a new character every month,
Yeah, that was
Damn.
insane.
and
That's
but
wild.
now it's like once every few months. And then what they also do is that they make some of the older characters who are like really outdated, and they just rework them to make them like more modern, and make them like be able to compete against the newer characters. And then it's. I mean, you guys are aware of the term power creep, right? Like so it
Yeah.
leads to power creep where like if you keep buffing the old stuff, eventually the next oldest stuff it's gonna be weak and outdated, and you have to buff those too. It's just this cycle where eventually a character when you played 5 years ago, which was like super crazy with all these new abilities, all these new effects and stuff, like and they were like way more modern than the other characters. That becomes the new like really outdated, and you have to buff that, and it just becomes a cycle of
Yeah.
yeah. It happens in like every game. I think it happens in Yu-Gi-Oh, which if you follow the game, um, of what it is now compared to like what it was and when Yu-Gi was dueling in Duelist Kingdom,
It's
it's
so
a lot
Mhm.
it's so
it's a lot different. Like back then, he
Yeah.
just threw out Celtic Guardian. You're like, oh shit, that's a respectable monster. And now it's like, now you can use Celtic Guardian to wipe your ass like after you take a shit. Like, yeah.
I thought he was like a cool looking character when I was a kid when I watched the cartoon or
I
the
thought he was
anime.
cool. I was like, I don't know what a Celtic is, but it's damn, bro. He has a good nice sword.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's it makes you wonder when it comes to games like those. Like when should developers stop updating, or the problem with like adding too many characters? Because I understand like you have to update and add new content for your game, otherwise
Yeah,
people are
that
gonna
really
lose interest and leave.
depends on the game.
Yeah, like I think StarCraft, doesn't it like upgrade or update so infrequently that people just got tired of it and just stopped playing? Isn't was that the
Uh,
problem with StarCraft?
I don't know about that.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
been
it's
a
just
while.
like it's. I mean, it stopped a while ago. Ever since Legacy of the Void came out, that was like the last major update for StarCraft 2. But I think the it's mostly just because like the game is kind of hard. It's kind of hard to get into because there's a lot of good players that will stomp on you, and it's a huge commitment to get into StarCraft 2. But um, for other games like League or Overwatch or Valorant, uh, like I understand the concept or the purpose of adding new characters, but as I said, at some point it becomes too much. When at some point when you're like, okay, we're gonna stop adding new characters because there's a lot of overlap, there's a lot of copying, and frankly, most people I think eventually stop caring at a certain number. So when you maybe just like do you focus on maps? But what if it's just like, all right, the map is really just like a background or a backstage set for when you're playing the game. It's not like directly affecting how people are playing. Is adding a new map, is that just like decoration? Is that just uh artificial updates, or should people just like developers continue just adding new characters and more meaningful content, even if it's just like not really adding anything after a certain point. Like what's that word? What's that word? I'm blanking. I'll get back to you. I'll get back to you guys on that word. But yeah, pretty much like when do you think it's like too much?
I think a constant in every game is just it's something. It's not. It's a really complicated answer, but then I think uh the learning curve is something you have to take into account. Like with Valorant, the learning curve is not as much there as it is in Overwatch. With like
Mm-hmm.
with I think with Valorant it's a lot easier to come up with stuff with characters, as long as you take into account the learning curve and also like the potential of power creep. I think that's like the best you can do to keep the game fresh. So if you release a new character, you make sure it doesn't have to anything too crazy
Yeah.
compared to the other ones. Like with if you don't want to add a character in Overwatch where they press their ult and then no matter where they are, like everyone on their team takes like 300 damage.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you don't want to add that because no character has anything close to that. Arguably, maybe just like I don't know, Soldier 76, I guess, but that's not quite the same. Um, but then you have to also take account like the learning curve. Like with certain characters, you want to reward them for being good at that character. Like you want to reward a good McCree. Uh, if they put in a lot of work into learning that character. So like maybe have McCree do a lot of damage, but then make it hard to like get that damage off, right? Uh,
Yeah.
you just have to compare it to like how I guess what you already have. I don't know.
I,
It's really a complicated thing because
Yeah. For
y-
Valorant, I think it's just their abilities.
what Valve has it's their abilities, but I think everything revolves around the core gunplay. It's just everything revolves around being able to shoot people in the head and being accurate on your movement. And the abilities are more just like supplements. It's just something to like flavor up the game a little bit. But at the end of the day, it's more with how well can you operate the guns in the game. So I don't think it's like as big of an issue with Valorant as it would be with Overwatch, where it's super dependent on the character because like no one has the same weapon unless you're literally playing the same character in Overwatch. But with Valorant, it's just like, all right, are you going to pick the Phantom, or are you going to pick the Vandal, or are you going to pick the Op, or what have you?
yeah.
So it's a little bit different in that regard.
I think a game that does really good at introducing new stuff is Pokemon. Even though there's some things that is rightfully criticized, like the fact that Pokemon just seems to kind of just shit out games for the sake of selling games sometimes.
Mhm.
But they did a good job in adding new content though, because they every time they make a new region or they make a new game, they always have to introduce something new. And sometimes it's not as well balanced as another thing, but I think they do a good job of being like, hey, here's a bunch of new Pokemon, and then we're gonna get some of them will have special moves that is exclusive to that Pokemon, and then you guys figure it out yourselves rather than them being like, okay, we're just gonna micro analyze every single one and see how they fit into the game, and then this is how they're supposed to be played or whatever.
Mhm.
So yeah, I think they do a good job in just introducing new stuff. Like with Mega Evolutions, like it was something new that hasn't been done before. So Mega Evolution is just like, hey, this Pokemon that you all like? Well, it can get stronger in this new form, but you can only use it for once a fight or once a battle,
Yeah.
and then yeah,
Yeah, I can't make much of a comment besides from the simple fact I don't play Pokemon. The only one I played was I think the Diamond and Pearl version. Back then, just because I borrowed it from my sister and I was bored, I'm like, all right, let's see what this whole Pokemon thing is all about.
Well, it
And
has
it
a
was
remake Paul if you wanna play again.
nah. It was once I like beat the Elite Four, I'm like, all right, I'm
wow,
content.
you stopped the belief for it, just left before the champion.
I
You
mean,
went
there's probably like some other content afterwards that I
you
did
went to
as
the
well.
champion. You're like, nah, I'm good. I just beat
I'm
the Elite
done.
Four.
I'm leaving.
Yeah.
I don't remember how the game ended. I just know that in Pokemon games, like, all right, it's the Elite Four. That's like the end game content, and that's all I remember. I probably did some stuff afterwards, but just like, all right, this is just extra stuff to like kill time.
Yeah.
I'm not actually working for
Well,
anything at this
when
point.
I talk about the new content, I don't mean like the story stuff because I was talking about like the more competitive scene where people were like
Ah,
play with other players. Like I'm talking about that in terms of like the story
The
experience. Like
gimmick.
that's different. I think because
gotcha.
the way you design that stuff is different from how you would like design like a PvP. Like you wouldn't want to balance like uh like Sekiro like you would
Mhm.
in Valorant. Be like, hey,
Yeah,
hey, the other players play the main character a certain way. We're gonna have to nerf it for everyone else.
yeah. No, when it comes to like single player games, I wouldn't nerf anything. I would just like make it as much fun. If you want, like, even I would even go so far as like if you want to cheat and do like have like infinite money or infinite health or infinite power or whatever in a single player game, I say go at it. No one's gonna care because at the end of the day, it's just like the only one
It's just you.
who's affecting is the
You.
person playing. That's it. The single person who's playing the game. But when it comes to like multiplayer games, when whatever you do affects other people, let's say like whenever Dean and I go back to like Battlefield 5, we're like, oh hey, let's play some Battlefield, and there's a hacker or a cheater on the enemy team, or even on our team, it just ruins the game for everyone involved. I'm like, all right, this ain't cool.
Yeah, speaking of the hackers, I was playing Battlefield 5, I think yesterday, and there were like, I spectated 4 different servers, and each server had at least one hacker.
Wow.
And they were proud of themselves being a hacker. Yeah, in a multiplayer game.
Yeah, those bastards, piece of shit.
I think hackers are like total inbred degenerates, dude. Like they all they do is just fuck up everyone else's time, and they don't even have a good time themselves. It's like you buying your own trophy where you're like, huh, look, I got first place, but if you had to do it, then did you really like deserve that or earn that? You know?
I think it's the saddest. I think they're the saddest being.
It is very sad, yeah.
Like remember we were playing Among Us and they hacked into their game and then ruined it for some weird reason. Like,
oh yeah, that.
what was the point of that? What did they
Who the
gain out
hell
of
cheats
that?
in Among Us, bro?
Yeah. Like, why would you? Why would you even entertain the idea of cheating
like,
in Among Us?
Okay, so you're bad at lying, and you're bad at figuring out who's lying. So now you're trying to.
You're just like killing people for weird reasons. I don't know. Like, you gotta be a real loser to cheat in Among Us. Okay.
Yeah.
Like,
and
yeah.
Fall Guys. You guys didn't play Fall Guys, but
Nah.
Fall Guys is like it's such a monkey brain game. Like all you do is like, jump platform to platform. To win to get to the next stage, and by the last stage you should be able. You compete for this crown, and people cheat on that shit because I don't know, like.
It's like cheating Connect 4, bro. Like come on. If you cheat at Connect 4, you need to really reevaluate your whole life and what. Like seriously, like come on. This is an innocent game that people have shits and giggles, and you just gotta fuck it up for everybody, you know.
Yeah. If you're cheating in a multiplayer game, I think you should go to rehab or something. Like get your shit together. You see a therapist.
Get a therapist. Yeah.
Get your shit together. Like there's something wrong with you that you want to like ruin other people's day when they're already having a bad day.
It's like there's like multiple different reasons why people would cheat.
Oh yeah,
the obvious one being like, I'm just bad at the game. I don't know how to get any better. I'm gonna download these cheats and instantly become quote unquote good at the game. Then there's also some people who are like probably take legitimate joy in making other people miserable or upset or just like they're very trolling nature.
Yeah. Both are scum.
Yeah, both are scum. Yeah. Like there's even this one friend we all knew that we don't really talk to anymore when we played Minecraft, man, and he just like had a lot of fun just like tormenting us, people he knew in real life, and just like he's enjoyed it. So it just
really depends on the nature of the person.
Yeah, exactly. So there's like multiple different reasons why people would do it, but
I
think like
Minecraft, I'm helping myself.
I'm not a big Minecraft guy, but I understand why people invest a lot of time into it. It's a way to let out your creative outlet, just like oh, what can I do with these blocks, or what can I make and stuff, and then if someone wants to ruin that, then what the fuck is wrong with them? Because people aren't doing that to like help everyone else. Yeah. Yeah, so I see it's a really weird game to just cheat in. Not that that he was like cheating, but it was like just to like fuck up someone else's day. It's just weird to me.
Indeed, but I mean, like it's people like that's going to exist no matter what, and it is what it is, unfortunately.
Yeah. Like I think the only way you should cheat is if you cheat in a way that saves you time. Like if you're like, let's say you're grinding in like a RPG or something. Like I'm okay with people cheating to save time on the grind. Like if it's just to save time, I'm okay with it as long as you're not doing it to like easier way to victory. Like if you're cheating to like fight like the last boss in Sekiro by giving yourself like insta kill, then okay, then kind of fuck you because you're
What's
you're,
the
you're
point?
ruining the experience for
Yeah,
yourself.
what's
Yeah,
the
what's the
point?
point? But if you're like, I need to get to level 50, but I don't want to spend like 3 hours to do it, so I'll just
I'll just buy a bot
whatever.
that will grind for me.
Yeah, then I don't mind that as much, unless it's like it ruins another player's experience somehow, like RuneScape. If you bought in that, then you're ruining the economy of that game. So I can understand why you shouldn't cheat there. But if it's just if you just want faster XP in FF7 or something, just who cares?
I wish. I wish they have those in FF7.
Yeah,
Yeah, usually for me, I'd search up like bots just so that like I can do something else while the bot is like killing monsters. You know, that's about it.
yeah. It's like why stuff like auto battle exists in
Yeah,
some games.
yeah.
Just
Now
like
now auto battles exist, and you know what? It's helping.
Have you guys ever met someone who cheated in like board games or like card games?
Card
Like
games,
Uh,
I remember people used to cheat in 13 back in RTC. I was just like, I don't
trading,
know.
trading.
There wasn't money in it or anything. People just cheated, just to cheat. And then like unless there's like an open secret thing where it's like, hey, you want to trade like right in front of everyone else, that's fine.
Yeah.
But it's like if it's like you're sneaking hand like cards from under the table or something. That's when I'm like, what the fuck, like.
What I used to do in 13, like when I knew I was gonna lose and I had a fucking three that I know I wouldn't be able to beat anyone. Like when I slammed my straight down, I took it underneath, make it look like it wasn't there, and then know that little card trick where you like just like slap the card onto the table
Yeah.
Mhm.
that people do. I used to do that just so I get rid of my lower cards.
Damn, bro, you cheater, man.
I remember a couple years back, I think Ron and I. It was Ron, Jeffrey, myself, and one other person. We're playing 13, and then losers had to take shots. And then Ryan and I just kept on fucking with Jeffrey, the other person, and then they're the only two taking shots. Pretty funny.
Yeah, I got none of those. I play just to play, win or lose.
Yeah. Like some games are more intense than others though. Like 13 is a really relaxed game. Like everyone just chills, throwing cards. But then when you play Egyptian War, that gets fucking intense.
Yeah.
Like I remember we were never able to play that in RTC because every time someone played it, like it got too loud and Mass Chief or Commander would come out and be like,
Yeah.
"Hey, stop that! It's getting too loud in here." I have to do
some
the
good old
whole flickering
times.
flickering the lights thing.
Yep. Good times.
Yeah. Hey, we should talk about an RTC episode sometime.
No, we
Sweet.
already have one.
Hey, maybe
Let's
this
let
time
God,
maybe this
God
time
Jeff or Jeffrey to leave.
maybe this time we'll speak about it positively, okay? Like, one time, uh, I wore a uniform and I got 100. That was pretty cool.
One
Remember that
time,
time we stayed after school because we were forced to?
one time at the AMI, I got robbed .5 of my uniform. I would have ranked up a lot higher, but it's okay.
I'm glad. I guess everyone except Paul can say this, but I'm glad I never had to go through another fucking uniform inspection.
I mean, I didn't like uniform inspections either, just because the uniform was uncomfortable, admittedly, especially with the straps on the side to like make your shirt tucked in a lot more neatly.
Uh-huh.
And
Like a
I mean,
shoelace?
mostly just because like the navy uniform, it's alright. It's alright in my opinion.
I was a little
So
disappointed when I saw the khaki uniform. I'm not gonna lie, because in my middle school orientation, and like they sent in like I think
They,
some
they
the
still
the
have the
older people
black
with
and white
the
ones.
Black and white, salt and peppers.
no, I think I was just barely off of that. But I saw the server's dress and I was like, oh shit, this is what we wear? Damn, bro. And then I came in, saw the khakis, I was like, oh, what are we, Boy Scouts? So I wasn't very excited
Yes,
for the khakis.
technically yes, but no.
And then I saw the PT shirt. It was just this ugly ass, bright ass gold, and I was just like, damn, we ain't getting good drip in this class, huh?
the the PT shirts were very
Nope.
comfortable. I
I
didn't
thought
like
they
the
were
shorts
comfortable.
at
Yeah.
first.
Yeah, they were ugly, but I still wore it anyway.
They're very
But
I don't know.
comfortable.
I quite like the shorts. I thought they looked cool.
dude, my shorts got ripped because I got it as a freshman, and then when I got older,
Yeah,
I was a little bigger, so
you
when I put it
evolved.
on, it just didn't fit and ripped.
Yeah. Plus, I don't know. I was always wearing basketball shorts, and they said basketball shorts were okay, so I was like, yeah, there's no point with my shorts.
Yeah. Eventually, I just wore like the white T-shirt
Yeah,
that we bought a bunch of for high school.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, and we never used our golden shirts for stuff like Moose Soccer because another school, another RTC was wearing gold shirts, so we couldn't even wear our own navy shirts, so we just wore white.
It
Yeah,
was like an army school, from what I remember too. It wasn't even their colors.
yeah.
Yeah,
But
like they didn't even wear like green or black or nothing. They just decided to wear gold for some reason.
yeah,
So they jacked our color from us, and then we just wore white.
yeah.
All right, well, we have quite a bit to
47.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Indeed.
So
Sorry for being quiet for the past couple of minutes. My younger sister, who's going to school in Utah, was messaging me and my other sister in our group chat about a game that she and her friends released on Steam.
Oh shit.
And
oh shit,
yeah, it's a
plug it.
puzzle game, free to play, and it looks pretty neat. So I'm downloading it right now. I'm just reading the description, and it looks. I ain't gonna lie, it looks pretty beautiful from the screenshots in the Steam page.
Doesn't she major something about game design or something, right? Or
Yeah, game design was her thing. I think she's currently doing her masters right now.
Mhm.
Nice.
Yep. So probably gonna be graduating from that relatively soon. I think because she graduated.
oh wait, did she
I think
graduate
in
like the same like a semester after you did, right?
yeah.
For her bachelor's, so that was like 2 years
Hmm.
ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so she should be finishing up her masters, I think. Like
Damn.
probably this year, maybe.
Yeah. Post high school, like since I spent most of it in college, I kind of lumped it all together. But sometimes I see posts about like my classmates who are the same year as me in high school. They're like, "Yep, just got my master's." I was like, "Holy shit!" I'm just like, "Holy shit!" I'm still not even in grad school yet, and then everyone's like, I know it's not a race, but I'm just like seeing all people I know just graduate, with these degrees just makes me like, what the fuck, damn. Like everyone's growing up so fast.
Yeah. Some are having
Yeah.
kids, and you're just like, oh
Yeah.
shit.
This is the one girl, 2 years younger than me, who I think whose baby just turned 1 recently. I was just like, what the fuck?
Yeah. No, it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
It's
It's
just
cool with
something
you guys.
I guess I'm not. I
Cool.
mean, maybe you do get used to it, but right now I'm still not used to seeing stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool with you guys. I'm gonna drop the link in our general chat. If you guys want to check it out.
Gotcha.
Before
The
Oh,
game's
should I?
called. Anyone who's interested, the game's called Souls of the Wind,
Can you
and
find
it's a
this?
puzzle game. Uh, yeah, it's like sister told me about it. Apparently, they passed like about 2,000 downloads on Steam. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna
Wow.
try to advertise this a little bit for her. So yeah, if
Nice.
you guys
That's
are
cool.
interested,
I can't check right
yeah,
now, but I'll check it later.
yeah. There's definitely some bugs she said that are in it, but It's a free to play game, and you know what? It looks pretty good for free to play.
I'm not gonna lie. I was expecting like pixels, like an RPG Maker or something.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
yeah, this looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Check it out, guys. Souls of the Wind on Steam.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Free to play, so you don't really lose anything from downloading it except for like time.
And
And
storage.
storage space.
Yeah, and storage space indeed. So I'll check it out later. It'll be pretty fun to play. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Also,
that's dope.
today I got a haircut today, so
Oh,
my
no,
head
lucky
feels
you.
so much lighter.
I bet. I was actually like thinking a couple minutes ago, like, man, should I get a haircut soon?
I need to get a
'Cause I've
haircut
been
soon, too.
getting like, yeah, I've been getting haircuts about like once a month now. Now that things have been like slowly reopening a little bit, and I'm a little bit more understanding of COVID, and since more people are getting vaccinated nowadays too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And you guys are getting yours
Monday,
like in a
yeah.
few days, so
Yeah.
you guys are almost there.
Yeah, I'm gonna get my second COVID shot. This coming Saturday, actually.
Yeah.
Mine's on Sunday.
Yeah.
Mine's
What's
on
your
Monday. Damn.
Hey.
Hey, sorry I couldn't join you guys in like a series of days.
It's all good. It's all good, friends. I think I don't know if I mentioned this last week, but I was like offered to go to do my flight physical in Pensacola, Florida for this week because someone dropped or couldn't make it, and I was offered to go this week. But unfortunately, it was like going to be like a day after I get my second COVID shot, so I had to turn that down. And
You'd be okay.
yeah, it's unfortunate because now 'cause I would have been messed up potentially for a couple of days while I was there, and my recruiters were like, "Yeah, probably not a good idea." So now I'm definitely guaranteed to go back or go to Florida, but it's going to be at the end of July, so that's about like 2.5 months from now, and it makes me a little bit disappointed. I have to wait a little bit longer.
But hey, you got a date.
Yeah, as long as you get there, right?
Yeah.
So
You got a date.
As long as I get there, uh, everything's either going to be paid for or I'm going to get reimbursed afterwards. I think I have to pay for my hotel fee, but they're going to reimburse me after I come back here to California, and I'm going to get paid per diem for the 4 days while I'm there. So
You know what,
I
Paul?
think it's
I
like
think you need a battle buddy, and I'll join you.
join me on Florida.
Yeah.
I think it's a Pensacola. I think that's a Navy base. I think.
Yeah, we can go there.
You can show me around. You like
I don't know where
get help.
the place is. I might know people
Ever
over
been?
there.
Maybe.
Yeah.
You ever been to Pensacola?
No. Never been
No.
to Florida.
All right.
maybe my friend Jason has because he was in Florida for a while. But then again, it might not be the same because I think he was in Jacksonville or something.
The only one here who's been to Florida is like Kenny, right? Like you went there for a bit, like a couple years ago.
Yeah, I was there. Just tourist stuff though.
How was
Just went to
the
Universal
weather
and
over
Disney
there?
World. It was just humid, random rain showers.
Humid.
I think out of all of us, I traveled at least, because I've never once I came to the West Coast, I've never left the West Coast except for when we went to Japan.
Same.
Yeah, that was like your first time on a plane too.
Well, my first conscious experience, but yeah.
Well,
'Cause
you're right, your first conscious experience riding on a plane.
yeah, because I've been on a plane before when I was like an infant or a toddler, or whatever.
I
Because
mean that
I was born I was
technically
born on the
counts,
East
but not
Coast
really.
where we eat burgers and eat pizza and all that, and then we flew over here to West Coast, and I
I
became
won't
West
say,
Coast.
"Well, I'm walking over here."
I know I could have had a
Everyone
New York accent. Like I could have
Everyone
been
got New Jersey, Boston, New York. They all sound
New
the same
York.
to me, or at least they all more or less sound the same to me.
Now New York is more low key, like so we
More
talk like
low-key?
this. Boston's more like this, where we talk like this, and then and I
But
don't know.
with Jersey,
I don't know New Jersey people. Okay, I don't even know they exist.
you don't know if New Jersey exists?
No, I think
I-
it's a myth.
I kind of forget where New Jersey is exactly. When it comes to like the East Coast, I know Florida, I know Virginia, I know New York is somewhere up there. I know Rhode Island also somewhere up there. But then, if you tell me to like, all right, point out the estates on the East Coast, I'm like, I don't know. You tell me
No,
West Coast, like easy. We have like three. We have like Washington, we have Oregon, we have California.
I don't know my geography very well unless I see the map. Like if I see the map and it's all like blank spaces, I can get a rough idea of what each state is.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
then if
yeah,
it,
yeah.
in terms of like, oh, what borders to the east of this state, I get a little like, I don't know. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. I'd be like, I have no idea. If you tell me like recite it off the top of my head, I'm like, look, I have no clue.
Yeah.
yeah. What
United
is to
States,
the
too
east
many
of
states.
Nevada? Like I wouldn't know. But if you show me if you put the map, I'm like, oh, okay, this is Nevada, and this is Utah,
Yeah.
or, I think, or Colorado or some shit. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. I think
You said
Colorado is next to Nevada. I think, and New Mexico.
Yeah,
Could be
I
wrong.
don't blame it. I don't blame us West Coasters to not know the East Coast because that shit's just like a fucking clusterfuck of like states. So
It is a
it's really
clusterfuck.
tiny, like borders.
yeah, like I know what New York is, but past that, I don't really know.
Yeah, because like there's like you can find how like there's some states that are even smaller than like probably even like some cities maybe
Yeah.
on the East Coast. It's just like they're so tiny. Like you can't even like write the name inside of it if you're trying to fill out a map. You have to like, all right, I'm gonna draw like here's the name. I'm gonna draw a line from that name to that box. That's I guess is a state.
Let's
Oh yeah, for
just.
those who
This is
don't
how
know,
tiny they are.
we all took a U.S. geography quiz,
Yes.
some online website, and then I think all of us, Jeffrey scored the best, even though me and Paul had the advantage of following politics.
Yeah, we're like this is the current election that we know where these states are voting and all that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
that's like it's
I think I
hard.
got like 30 something. I think, but
I got 40.
Jeffrey, I don't remember the number I got, but I think I was pretty up there. But then Jeffrey beat me.
I have an easier time of pointing out all the countries in South America than I do in our own country.
To be fair, that's a lot easier. Like if you do
It
Africa, I just give up. I can't do Africa for
I
the
used
life
to.
of me.
all I
I
know
used
is
to go
that
for
all
Africa.
I know
South
South
Africa is easy.
Africa, I know Egypt, and I know Chad is somewhere in there.
Yeah,
All I
Africa's
know is
just
in Chad,
there's
everyone
just
has
so
like
many
them chisel
countries. I can't.
jaws. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I used to
Europe.
go.
I might have a decent chance of Europe though. Europe's probably not too
Yes.
bad.
Yeah.
Asia's probably not too bad either. I think I can do
I
Asia
think
Same.
pretty
Asia
well.
would be my best suit if you took
Hmm.
if you
But
taught
North
me
America, I
geography.
got that shit down on lock. All right, I got that shit down.
The
North
states or the
America?
country?
North America is like the tutorial mode basically of like all of like name which country's
Yeah, I'm
which.
pretty sure North America is down
Oh,
south.
countries? Okay.
Yeah, North America, like
For,
okay, this is the U.S. Bam, Mexico, bam.
oh
You know?
yeah, you're right. For some reason, I was thinking like when you said like North America, I was thinking I still on the states. For some reason, I'm like I don't know about that front.
Yeah,
That's why I
Central
asked.
America kind of fucks me up. I think.
Yeah.
South America, I could point out which countries. I know where Peru. I know where Argentina is. I know where. Well, Brazil's easy. Venezuela is up north
Chile.
and all that. Chile's that long
Yeah.
strip on
Yeah.
the western side of South America.
Yeah, if you don't know which one's Brazil, I think you just suck. Okay, because even I know which one's Brazil.
Is that the one up
We
north?
go into.
It's whatever the biggest one is.
I think Venezuela is the most northern point in North America or South America.
I
I think.
disagree. It's Brazil.
No, it's definitely not Brazil.
Are you sure? It might be the tip of
Yeah.
Brazil.
No, it's definitely not Brazil. No, you're thinking of. I think it's on top of Brazil is Guiana and French Guiana. I think that's
Never
how you
mind. You're
pronounce
right.
it.
You're right.
Yeah, it's Venezuela. I think it's the most northern point in South America.
Well, technically, it's Colombia.
All right,
Like
Colombia,
a little bit.
a little bit. Yeah, I think Venezuela and Colombia are like right next to each other. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's Peru. That's a little bit below
Oh,
that,
that's
and
where
then
Bolivia is.
there's Bolivia is like I think a little bit to the north or like almost even with Peru. and then
It's like a
there's
little bit to the southeast.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
and
yeah,
then there's Uruguay and then Paraguay to like the south somewhere.
uh-huh.
I get those two mixed up.
Yeah. In terms of like what goes on in these states, I have no, I have like zero clue. All I know is just like stuff I know from politics. It's just like, oh, Brazil, kind of dangerous.
Yeah.
Venezuela. If you follow politics, you hear that like all the time. Colombia. It's major. It's like a major political event that happened there. If you haven't seen, Paul.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
A lot of protests. And right
Yeah.
now, my focus is like currently what's happening in
Bolivia is
Israel
like
and Palestine.
Bolivia is one of our hopes right now. Hope that we hope succeeds.
Yeah, socialism, baby.
But yeah, in terms of like what they do, I don't know nothing.
Yeah, when it comes to like the
Such a
what
huge
was that
continent
called
too.
again? I keep forgetting what that piece of land is between the United States and South America is again. I keep forgetting like
Central America.
middle America.
Yes.
Central
Middle
America.
Central America. There we go. Look, Central, Middle. Look, they're pretty much synonyms.
It should have been
Central
Middle
America.
America. I think it would have been would catch on
Yeah.
than Central America.
I think, funnily enough, when you say like Middle America, I think people assume like the Midwestern
Yeah,
states,
right? Yeah, they're probably
like
like, oh, the
Chicago and
Midwest?
all that.
Mexico.
Yeah.
I had one of my childhood friends is from Honduras, or I guess his I don't remember if he was born there or his parents were born there. And then he told me one of the things that he gets annoyed of the most is that people are always calling him Mexican because, he's Hispanic, but he's not
Mhm.
Mexican. He's just from Central America.
There's a lot of that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I
guess
know.
the
I
same
know
thing.
some people who are
Yeah.
from like South America and Central America who are like definitely not Mexican because Mexico is literally just one country out of several in
Yeah.
those in that
Happens to be
region
one
of the
close,
world.
and also is one of the bigger ones because you can spot it on the map really easily.
I think people just assume like you speak Spanish, Mexico.
Yeah.
It's like with Asians, like people have always called me Chinese because I have the eyes, but they never think like, oh, maybe he's one of the other countries in Asia. It's always defaulted Chinese.
Mm-hmm. It's it depends. Like, are you like East Asian or you're Southeast Asian? Like are you have pale skin or are you like brown
Are you
Asian?
black or
So
are you, like
you're either Filipino or you're one of those Southeast Asian countries somewhere.
yeah,
That I think the more well known one is Vietnam, and then
Thai.
other ones just question marks for most people.
I think non-Asian people in America just know Vietnam because we had there was a war there and we went there.
Yeah.
I think that's like the only reason.
And you guys have pho. That's pretty much
yeah.
it.
That's it.
Yeah. China is obviously the easiest one to point out. Hong Kong is somewhere there as well. A little piece of land
Yeah.
somewhere
Hong Kong's
there.
below.
And there's Taiwan as well. It's Chinese, but also not Chinese.
Yeah.
That's
tiny.
Yep. Am I allowed to say that? Because I know there's like controversy if like you say or not whether or not Taiwan's a country or.
It's fine.
I think it's only controversial if you're Chinese.
Yeah.
Or like super. I don't mean Chinese. I mean Chinese nationalists. Like China #1. Like.
Oh,
Yeah. I just know that some people get canceled for that, or like I think there was like one VTuber I remember who had to be off the air for a little while just because she accidentally said that Taiwan was a country.
I see.
Well,
So yeah.
Well,
I think it depends.
I think they call themselves a country, but at the very least, for sure, that they consider themselves independent from China.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Been to Taiwan a couple of times, but technically not really. It's just more like layover when I'm on a plane and I'm going to like Cambodia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Most of my layovers are in Korea.
definitely never been to Korea, not even on a layover.
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, it's always like interesting whenever I go to Asia because there's always like a certain smell. I think it's like just the humid weather, but there's always like a certain smell. I'm like recognize like I'm in Asia right now compared to like how I normally smell things in the Western Hemisphere or just like maybe just the U.S.
I
But
wish
just
I
like
could
just
say the
very
same. But I've only been to Japan. And the time we were in Beijing doesn't count because layover. So
yeah
I wish I wish I could understand what you mean by that.
yeah.
I'm
I
sure
mean,
Dean can.
one day when we all decide to go on another trip when the world opens up.
Yeah.
So yeah, that'll be a lot of fun. Uh, yeah. You guys, any extra thoughts?
No.
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 Oh, it's so dumb today.
What?
We were ordering food at wings, you know, like food wings,
Yeah.
and then I don't know. I just went brain dead where I couldn't read, and I had to ask Ron to like read for me.
Did you become like a temporary dyslexic or something?
Yeah, I felt so
Like
bad to the cashier because I was just making it like, oh man, this asshole right here. I was just like, I'm sorry, but
I
I
can't
can't
read.
read right now.
I'm too dumb.
I'm too dumb. What's that for freeze? What are
I
freeze?
I don't know if I ever had it that bad before.
It was. I have no clue why it was so bad.
I think the worst I ever had it was just like if I read a word too many times or I say a word too many times, eventually it stops looking like a real word. I'm like,
Yeah, there's like
this
yeah,
is
no. Yeah, it happens with
Yeah,
me sometimes too.
same. Yeah, but today was just like the day where I couldn't read, and I was just like, fuck.
or sometimes if like the word first if you like type it in all caps, it looks like this didn't look right. But you like type in lowercase, like yeah, it makes sense. But if it's all caps, like nah, this looks funky. This looks whack.
I used to write everything in all caps because that's what I was
Really,
taught. Yeah, in the
really.
military, everything all caps.
Ah,
Yeah,
It sounds like you're
gotcha.
just yelling at the other person every time you send something.
yeah,
You sound very. Why are you so aggressive?
yeah. It was so hard to like go back to like, you know,
Lowercase,
yeah,
just normal
just
talk.
yeah, because it was so like, all right, all you do is everything is capitalized. Your name, whatever you write, capitalized.
Ah, that's
And
gonna
I
be
was just
me
like,
then. It just feels like when if you had to like write it out by hand as well. I feel like it's just like a lot more work just to
yeah.
like put everything in all caps. Like I mean I kind of get it. I think it's just like it's easier to see, but I don't know. I don't get it. I'm not in the
Yeah,
military yet.
when I was younger, like I think I was in the third grade, where everything I wrote was cursive. Everything, like
Really.
yeah, even notes, cursive, because that's what we were taught in the school that I went. Everything
You
needs
know,
to be cursive.
I can still write in cursive for the most part. There's just some letters I don't remember, but I think I can still do it if I wanted to. I
I
did it.
definitely can't. I can only
My
do my signature.
writing is mixed with cursive. Cause like I'll write my name, right? And then when I write my E, sometimes it's cursive, and then I just like go with it, and then write the rest of my name in cursive. And it's like fuck, I
You
wrote in
guys think
cursive.
you guys think cursive looks like fancy, or do you guys think it looks ugly? Because I kind of think it looks ugly.
I
Personally,
think it
it's
looks
ugly for
fancy.
me.
It's
I think it
fancy.
looks fancy. I just can't read it. I'm illiterate when it comes to
It
cursive.
looks like a mess. So like when people just print letters normally, I'm like, okay, this is clear. I mean, handwriting aside, like it's as clear. I understand what it says, and I don't have to make sense of it. But when people write cursive, because because
Handwriting
it just looks more
or
like a mess. Like just too many fucking strokes on the fucking paper. You know,
handwriting or
with cursive,
typing.
there's too much there's too many strokes. There's too much shit for the words.
The
When you
extent to
print
my
it, just looks
cursive,
cleaner.
the
So
extent to my cursive is like happy birthday, and that's it.
I can't even do that. Legit, mine is just my signature. I was only taught cursive for maybe like one day or maybe like a week in like third grade, and then the same thing in the fourth
Yeah,
grade. But beyond that, we stopped.
I think I started learning cursive at second grade, but they were still lenient about it, where it was like, okay, you can still write the regular way, but once you get to the third grade, all you do is in cursive and in pen. That's what I was taught to do. That shit
I'm
sucks.
asking guys. I'm asking if you guys can relate to this because when I was younger, whenever whenever we were younger in elementary, you need a lot of permission slips to be signed by your parents. So
Yeah.
I would notice every time my mom or my grandparents would sign something, their signatures were really fucking consistent. And then as I got older, I was like, okay, I need to make up my signature. But then whenever I do my signature, it's never the exact same. It's always different. Like it's never the exact same signature.
Yeah, I
And
can relate
so
to that.
I'm the same. Yeah,
yeah.
I can relate.
Like they
So
have all the fancy squiggly lines, and then you see mine. It's like, oh, damn.
yeah, if you like show me my last 10 receipts that I signed, like none of them are the same. Like they're all different.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because they practice theirs. I don't know, but I thought that when I was younger, I thought whenever I got older, I would have like a you know consistent signature I was gonna use, but it never happened.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could have a good looking signature, just for the simple fact I have a short name and even a shorter last name. So I think for me, my signatures are just like meh.
Well,
So I
the
don't really
crazy
put that much
part
effort into it.
with signatures is like some signatures aren't even like
Actual names.
yeah, like
It's
it's
just
like
like squiggly lines.
squiggly lines that they form, and you just like how like
Alright.
when do I get to do that? Like I'm still signing in cursive like
You guys want to hear my radical take?
what's up?
What?
Abolish signatures. Why do we even have them? We already print most of the time. We already print our name anyway. Like, why do we need to do some cursive shit? That's bullshit. Like, what was the purpose? We just do it because it's culturally expected and accepted. But why is it the case? You ever think of that? Well, why do they exist? There's no good reason for it.
Yeah,
I say get rid of them. We
not
don't
gonna
just
lie, like ever since the pandemic, everyone's just doing the electronics signature.
yeah. The cursive shit means nothing. It doesn't mean anything. You don't need to do it.
Yo, bro, we should do what Japan does. It's a stamp.
No, I don't want to carry around a stamp.
You don't have to carry a stamp. You just have it in your house.
Yeah,
Or
but what if you like?
digitally?
What if you have to like go out and like
Okay,
sign stuff?
I'm not gonna lie. That sounds more of an inconvenience because if you have the pen already on you, why would you need to get your stamp too? You know?
I think stamps
Yeah.
are cool.
I mean, it's cool, but it's also probably just as useless, if not even more inconvenient.
Yeah, I say we just print. If we already printed our name on those shits, we don't need to sign our name because it doesn't mean anything. Anybody could forge it anyway. So it's like, well, fuck them. Fuck signatures. Don't just print your name. All right, fight with me, humans of the Nincompoops.
I'm still pro stamp. Maybe just
All
because
right.
I lived there for a while.
To do
I
stand
think
for
it's
those who want it, right? Stands for those who want it, but fuck signatures. There's no point of those. And I guess we'll leave it off with that.
I guess so.
yeah.
All right, Paul, do the outro.
Oh shit! All right, well, if you guys enjoyed this latest episode, which is number 39, come check us out on our other previous episodes on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Nincompoops. I don't know if there's an underscore, but just look it up. And same with our Twitch, like twitch.tv/Nincompoops. So yeah, probably got those wrong, but yeah, come check us out. Is there anything else you guys want to add?
Stamps.
Nope.
Yeah.
All right.
Don't sign your next shit. All right. Don't sign it. Just print it.
We're going to start a new revolution when it comes to like signing.
Yeah, I'm a signature abolishist.
Anti signature. All right, boys. All right, everyone. You guys have a good one.
Later.
Bye.
Have fun.